The Pupils button allows you to manage your pupil records, their lessons, progress and payments. Tapping on the button brings up a list of pupils on the left hand side. If this is your first time using the app, you'll need to import some pupils from your contacts already on the iPad. Now just to explain, in order to protect your valuable data, any apps you buy from the App Store are not allowed to make changes to your personal data, such as your contacts. As software developers, we're allowed to copy your contacts information but not make changes to it, and this is one of the ways that Apple safeguards you when using software from different developers. Because of this security measure, we only add or make changes to contact information within the Apple Contacts app already installed on your iPad. However, we can import these contact records into the Driving Instructor app and refresh the information after we've made any changes to the original data. With the new privacy settings in iOS 6, you now have to allow the app access to your contacts information. Just go into the iPad settings, tap on Privacy, then Contacts, and ensure the switch is set to allow access. Most users find it easier to organise their contacts into groups, and this can be done on a Mac or PC if it's synced to the iPad, or by registering and logging into iCloud.com. This allows you to have separate groups for different contacts, such as family, friends, colleagues, past pupils and current pupils. Assuming that you already have people in your contacts list, tapping the Add button will allow you to import from selected groups, making it much easier to find your current pupils. Simply select all the pupils you wish to import, then tap the blue Done button. Contact data will refresh automatically if you close and reopen the app, or can be refreshed manually from the settings menu as discussed in the first video. Once you have some pupils added, you can swipe through the list, or press and hold the alphabetical key to scroll directly to records by surname. The contact information for each pupil is displayed, now including the field names, which is helpful when you have pupils with more than one contact number on their record. If you've noticed that there are fewer buttons on the bottom of the page, that's because now directly tapping on their email address allows you to send them a message, whilst tapping on their home address enables you to open the location in Maps. Underneath their contact data are fields that allow you to record their driving licence number and expiry date. You can also set a specific hourly rate and lesson duration if it's different to your default settings. If you've set up your syllabus lessons using the settings feature, you can now select the appropriate syllabus for that pupil, allowing the software to determine what lessons you'll be teaching. You can also record your initial check of their eyesight and their acceptance of your terms and conditions. Tap on the Terms and Conditions button and it will bring up the text you entered in settings, or the standard text provided with the software. Once the pupil has read the text, they can tap Continue and then sign to confirm. The terms can also be emailed to them, and the software will bring up their email address if you already have it installed. The software will now show the date and time of the acceptance, and will also copy the instructor if this has been selected in Apple's mail settings. Otherwise, any additional recipients can be added before pressing Send. The buttons below the record allow you to record free text notes, manage their progress, notes and payment history, or permanently delete them from the app, although beware, this will delete all of their progress payments and notes records as well. The pupil progress has been divided into 7 key areas and allows the instructor to give a score from 0 to 5 for each of the key skill areas. Scoring up to 5 was specifically chosen to follow the DSA system. Tapping on the Notes button brings up a text field and automatically brings up the keyboard. This feature now has largely been superseded by a new feature in the Payments area. However, it has been retained so that any previously entered text is still visible. The next button is called Payments, but now not only tracks the money paid by the pupil and then spent on lessons, but also includes lesson detail and notes fields. Let's start off with recording payments first. I'll come back to the lessons and notes later. Say the pupil pays £210 for 10 hours of lessons, which are normally £22 an hour, but they get £10 discount for paying in advance. As well as them making the payment, they also have a 2-hour lesson. Tap on the plus sign to add a new record. It will default to a new lesson, as you're likely to record lessons more often than payments. If you've configured your settings correctly, the software will default to the duration to 2 hours and will automatically deduct £44 from the pupil's balance, again using your hourly rate entered in the settings area. Adjust the exact date and time, and if you're happy with the entry, just tap Save and Add Transaction. For the payment, the software will again show the current date and time, although like before, this can be overridden using the wheel selector just by tapping on it. The default payment method is cash, although this can also be changed by tapping on the entry. Apart from one exception, all of the payment types will contribute towards the total paid summary. However, anything entered with a payment type of discount increases the balance on the pupil's account but is not actually paid to the instructor, so it's not included in the total paid figure. With a payment type as cash, for example, tap on the amount area and enter the amount in pounds, then tap Done to save the entry. Now, to record the pupil discount, add another new payment entry without adding a lesson, by tapping the plus sign and then Add Transaction, without saving the suggested lesson. This time set the payment method as discount before entering £10. When you tap the blue Save button to go back to the pupil payment summary, you will see total paid £210, which is the figure that you'd need for tax purposes, £44 spent, and a total of £176 available to spend, with the remaining 8 hours of lessons at £22 an hour, giving them 4 further 2-hour lessons before they need to pay again. For clarity, you might want to date and time the payment just before the lesson time starts, so that it's easier to follow the entries. Next time, when no payments have been made, you can just tap the plus button, then tap the blue Save button without adding any payment details. To recap, you can save the lesson entry only, save and add a payment or transaction at the same time, or add a transaction only. If you want to delete or edit an entry, simply swipe from right to left and choose from the 2 buttons that appear. The new feature is the ability to record what was taught in each lesson. Having set up your teaching syllabus and individual lesson items in settings, and also specified for that pupil what syllabus you're teaching, the app now knows what lessons you're planning to teach and in what order. You can enter free text in the notes field and select from the syllabus list what items were taught in that lesson. The app will prompt what lessons are next, as lessons already taught are greyed out but still available. As well as making your lesson history more useful, recording the lesson detail here will also be of benefit when other features are launched shortly. It's likely that the lesson detail notes here will replace the standalone free text notes that was available before. Tapping the button top left again returns you back to the pupil list with a summary of their contact details, and tapping the Driving Instructor button top left takes you back to the launch page. Again, please visit instructorsoftware.com for access to the tutorials and the frequently asked questions.